Hey everybody, iStrake here, and welcome back to Creativerse. You may notice that my home has changed a little bit. I've made some upgrades, done a little bit of building and some crafting and things in my off time. So I've gone ahead and finished what I like. It's kind of a little log cabin feel to it. You'll notice I've used like two different types of wood to kind of create some diversity, and instead of just building it out of, regular wood planks or anything like that. Kind of gives it a more rustic look to it. But still got the same old, wooden table and chair and the bed and everything. You'll also notice on my crafting bar that I've got several new types of blocks to build with. What I did was I went ahead and dropped $5 on the game and bought some coins and just the smallest little bundle. I think it was like $5.50 or something. And that, combined with the coins that I already had, enabled me to buy the Hidden Temple bundle, which I have gone ahead and put to good use. That is Memorial Hill over there. And we're going to go take a closer look at what I've built over there here in just a moment. So it's been through some changes and everything. I've got a back door here that leads off kind of into my mining area and everything, and my storage building has also had some upgrades as well. So I want to show off kind of what I've been doing, and I want to talk to you guys about what I plan to do with the future of this series. So I've got a teleporter here that actually leads down to my strip mine, which you should have already seen. I'm pretty sure I've already posted that episode where I go strip mining. Kind of fun, very dangerous, very, very dangerous. I've grown some wheat here, and I've also started some lettuce as well. The lettuce seems to take longer than the wheat. You can make bread and everything out of wheat, and it actually increases your maximum health. It doesn't actually heal you like it did on Minecraft. But I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. Actually, let me show you the storage building first. I started some stairs down, haven't finished them yet. I'm still sort of in the process of. But this is my storage facility now, and it's not much. I mean, it's just basically, it's a workstation, and it's got crafting and oh, dadgummit. It's got crafting and things to be done and everything. So I made a bunch of chests. I put them along the walls here, and I sorted some of my things, which I showed you in a previous video. I had begun to do that, but I've gone ahead and finished out, and I got to the point where I could make some Arctech chests, so I made a couple of those, and they're very nice and large and everything, and I've got a lot of materials in them that I did not have in previous episodes, because like I said, I've been pretty busy. I got kind of carried away, and I am going to upgrade all this at some point as well. These are Arctech torches, which you may have seen already. I've got my touchstone there. My wife has actually been on with me. She's played a little bit, but not much. And we don't really have, our schedules are very what you'd call non-traditional. We don't get to spend a lot of time together, which is kind of sad, but I mean, we make it work. So anyway, this is sort of the outside of my house, and you'll see again that I've kind of like used the lumber theme to sort of make how logs would sit on top of each other, but in real life they'd have grooves in them and they'd be sort of interlocking. But anyway, so that's that's my little plot of land here. Now you'll notice that beacon up there, which I actually started to walk over that way a minute ago. What I wanted to show you guys is that there's a nice big tree over here, sort of a big cragwood tree, and what I plan to do. That's actually not the one. I mean, it very well could be, because it's got a nice big branch on it, and I might do something with it eventually. But there's a nice big tree right over here with some big branches and everything in it that I am going to, in a future episode, turn into a treehouse. I'm going to make a big staircase, winding staircase going up and everything, and I'm going to have like a home built up there, and it's going to be kind of cool, I think. And that's more what I'm going to start doing with a lot of these episodes. Is I'm going to give you guys some building tips and tricks and things, because I've looked around online a little bit, and I mean, there are a lot of people out there who build some great stuff, and they build like modern homes and things like that, and that's all really cool. But a lot of the builds that I've seen are just like a 3x9 mud hut. You know, it's like you build that first little house and you put a chest in it, and then you never really do anything else with it, because I mean, I don't know if people just lack inspiration, or what the deal is, but I'm going to, you know, that's going to be the goal, I think, of this series, is to inspire people to get creative in Creativerse, and to build, you know, bigger and better things, and maybe, like, you just need some building tips, how to make things, you know, look fancier, or what have you, and that's kind of what I want to do. But I do want to show off my temple, and I want to sort of talk about what my project is going to be for the next couple of videos. Basically, I've got this big expanse here, and I have to, like, go downhill, and then I have to go uphill, and then I have to go, you know. And it's a pain, it's a hassle, and I thought, well, I'll just build, you know, a staircase, you know, down from here and up over there, and it'll sort of give us, you know, a way to just run straight instead of having to do all the jumping and everything. And then I thought, well, that's not really what people do in real life. Like, you know, if we've got two hills that are fairly close to each other like this, and we want to create, you know, sort of a highway between them, we would build a bridge. You know, we wouldn't go necessarily through that valley if we didn't have to. We would build a bridge, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a bridge between the two, and it's going to be like a big fancy bridge. It's not going to just be like a 2-column dirt line, you know, between the two, like I've seen a lot of people do on their videos for this. I'm gonna make it big, and I'm gonna make it fancy, and I'm gonna show you guys how. Moreover, which, you know, you don't have to build exactly like I do, but it's just, you know, to give some inspiration. So anyway, this is my temple. I'm not done with it yet by any means. I'm actually going to make like sort of a tiered sort of area out here, and make it, you know, sort of gradually cascading down, probably to about here, probably about 3 levels down. And then we're going to connect the bridge to it, and then you can sort of walk up to the temple proper. And I think it'll look pretty cool. But the pack actually came with a lot of, like, furniture and things. It came with these chairs and tables, those torches, and we got, well, I don't have anything else with me out right now, but there's a chest somewhere. Where is it? Where did I leave it? Here it is. Okay, so the bundle comes in these crates, and you can pick them up and put them in your inventory, the crate itself, but it's a one-way crate. You can only take things out, you can't put things back in. So I just sort of set it, I left it sitting there and everything. So you've got a bunch more of the building blocks and everything. It came with vines and adobe bricks and some tourmaline and wildwood, which you actually need to create the Hidden Temple swords, which are pretty cool. I don't know what their combat power is yet. I haven't really tested that out, sort of to see like where they fall in the damage spectrum or anything. But we got these cool goblets. I'm going to put some of them out and around and everything. And we got some altars and some chests as well, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And I got these thrones. I haven't done anything with them yet because I don't really know what to do with them yet, because it's a you know, it's a temple for like burial. This one is, anyway. I might make like a fancy royal temple later. I've certainly got the blocks for it. You know, and you got these roof blocks and everything as well. So it's got some really cool stuff. You get a lot of blocks and everything, and you get you know, you get the pattern to make them too. So I mean, if you run out or if you start a new world or whatever, then you can make more of them. And I also bought the stained glass pack, so I got all this pretty blue, red, and yellow stained glass, and the patterns to make them as well. So, you know, I mean, it was worth it to drop $5 on it and get this kind of stuff. So, I do have this issue though, where things keep jumping over the wall. So I might actually have to kind of rethink my design there, because I'm used to Minecraft where things only jump like 1 block high, and here, you know, you jump higher, and so does everything else. So, but I want to show you guys around in the temple now. This has been named the Temple of Inevitable Shame, because I've already died, I think, 13 times throughout the life of this series, and some off camera as well. So I figure, you know, I am inevitably going to end up here, and it will be shameful when I do, because I have to bring my death urns here. So we've got our doors here, and we walk in, and this is the temple inside. Okay, I'm just going to kind of slowly scroll around, give everybody a chance to kind of look. And I've tried to make some variation in the walls, because I had all those lovely blocks that it came with and everything. And these green blocks here are green tourmaline glass. After you make the pink tourmaline glass, or just the regular tourmaline, I mean, it is pink colored. But after you make the first one of those, you get the pattern for the green tourmaline. And I think it's really pretty, and it kind of goes with the pack. and it actually shines light through it, so it sort of gives the illusion of being sort of a stained glass kind of light, almost. So, but this is what I've done. I've put all my death statues around on these, and I've got these hidden temple chests here. There's nothing in them right now, but I mean there will be later on. I'll find some suitable offerings to appease whatever ancient Mayan, Aztec deities or what have you these these dragons are for. But anyway, so I made some stairs to kind of get to the upper shelves and what have you, and these are the altars here, and you can actually put things on them to sort of, it doesn't show up on top of the oh, it does. I was wrong. Well, so anyway, yeah, that's kind of cool. So you can put things on the altars and it shows up on top and whatnot. I actually put lights under these blocks to make them shine brighter and to give more illumination sort of in the middle here, because those torches didn't really reach far enough. And I did the same thing up top as well. So it gives kind of a nice lighting effect in here, I think. And it is sort of cramped, I mean, because I've got these big shelves here in the middle with all this stuff on them. But I mean, you can decorate your temple however you want to. I just decided that this was what I wanted to do with this particular one. And I didn't use nearly all the blocks that the little kit came with either, so I've still got plenty of them to play around with, and we're actually going to build our bridge out of a lot of them. And I'll kind of show you guys, like, I guess more what my, I am going to go get that chest while I'm thinking about it, what my sort of process is when I'm making some of these decisions that I make with buildings. So, and like I said, I mean, you can choose to build, like, pattern by pattern the way that I do, or you can, I mean, be free to express yourself too. That's a big part of games like this, is getting to sort of do what you want to do and having that creativity to... Can I reach you from here? No, we're gonna live on the edge. Okay. Having the creativity to become, sort of master of your fate, if you will. Is that a top hat? Oh my. Yes. Okay, so I need to get a pet at some point as well. I haven't done that yet. I haven't really fooled around with a lot of the pets and what have you. I don't know, like, if it's going to be... I don't think you can get anything from your pets necessarily. Like, there's no way to, like, harvest leather from the piggies without killing them. So, I need to go get that other chest before daylight. I doubt there's anything that I seriously need in it, but I mean... It never hurts to, like, check. Yeah, I mean, it's got some wooden stuff, so that's cool. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about the bridge, though, and I'm not going to build the entire thing in this episode, probably because I feel like these have been running a little bit long. But I might, because, you guys know me, I do tend to get carried away. So, basically, what I want to do, I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to start sort of laying out how I want the bridge to be. Okay. I kind of know, like I said, I've already got sort of a plan in mind, and that's like an important part of any of these types of games. I mean, obviously you can just like flatten out a big patch of land, and just make broad strokes and just, have the whole thing with just one level area. But that's sort of like, it sort of defeats the purpose. It's like you've got this landscape and this all these beautiful hills and everything, and you're just gonna, like, flatten it out. And, I mean, I know that's what we as humans do when we go and we build big projects and things like that. But it's not, like, it's not interesting. There's no, there's no nuance to it at all. It's just like, okay, well, you've flattened it out and you've built, like, tract housing or whatever, and there's a place for that, sure. But, I mean, like, you're the only person on this particular planet, or in your little world here, or whatever. So why be constrained to building for the masses when you can build for yourself? That's the way that I figure it anyway. And so, like I said, we want to come down about 3 tiers here, and that's just part of the pre-planning. I want to build with the hill, because I feel like that's what people would do. You know, it's like you're going to have a couple of decks, a couple of, you know, 3-tiered deck here, and then there's going to be a big bridge over to my house. And it's, you know, it's how people built before, you know, we got to the point of like bulldozers and things like that, where we could just flatten out huge swaths of earth. So anyway, I mean, that's enough of my, I guess, it's not really a gripe about architecture, but I mean, it kind of is at the same time. I'm just going to put a few of these down just so that I have kind of a measurable, like, area of where this is sort of going, okay? This is by no means, you know, what the finished product is going to look like. I mean, it could, because it's not a terrible pattern at all. But at the same time, it's not very interesting because, you know, I've got all this sort of variation and everything in all my walls and my floors and whatnot. So we're gonna do that a little bit later. But I want to keep it roughly like, okay, so I've gone 5 across on this deck, and I want to go 4 across here and then 3, and so just kind of have it like gradually stair-stepping down, right? Okay, so we're gonna go 3 out here. And then I'm going to, let me just sort of touch that off. Alright. So anyway, so that's going to be my lowest level, and that's what I'm going to use to connect these two hills. Okay, so I'm going to have a fairly long bridge. Alright. Now the thing about bridges is, until we got to like the pavement era, you're not really ever going to look at like a big straight bridge. You want to have some arches. You want to have some design to it. You want to have like the ability to sort of incorporate some design elements that make it look sturdy, because I mean, like, obviously you can defy physics on these games. Okay, you can absolutely have a one dirt block bridge going all the way across, and that's fine. It's functional. It does what it's supposed to do. But it looks really boring, and it looks really out of place, and I hate doing that. I really do. What I am going to do is I'm going to use this to sort of measure my way across, okay? And that's like, it seems silly, because it's like, well, why don't you just build with whatever material you're going to build with and get it over with? Well, because I haven't decided what I'm going to build the bridge out of yet. I mean, again, I know I'm going to use the, you know, the temple blocks and what have you, but at the same time, I don't know exactly how I want to do it yet. So this is just to sort of guide me and give me an idea of like how much of each material that I'm going to need. It's sort of a measure twice, cut once mentality, I guess. Because that's, I mean, that is how you build things in real life, is you measure them twice and then you cut them. Otherwise, your carpentry is going to end up all jacked up. And even, I mean, you know, expert carpenters who've been doing it for years will be like, no, you want to make sure that you have your measurements right before you start building, otherwise you're going to end up with some kind of weird jacked up design, and nobody wants that. So, you know, that's just sort of my my 2 cents about that. Not that anybody asked, but okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead, and we're almost there, and it's actually, I think, going to be perfect to come right straight across from that. Yeah, I think that's going to work out very well. And that was not pre-planned. That actually just sort of happened by happy coincidence. So, now what we have to do, we actually have a flat path now. I can just run across that all day, but again, it looks, you know, it's a big frickin' dirt line. It's just, nobody wants that. Alright, so this then is going to be sort of my on-ramp, okay? So we're just going to build around it a little bit to kind of give me some design area to kind of work with. And the thing is, and I'm going to touch on this in some future videos as well, I want to build with the land. And I mentioned that earlier, but no, what I mean by that is, like, you want to have like a net zero for dirt when you're building. Okay, I guess a better place to start would be to say, okay, pick your area that you want to build in. Use the hills, use the terrain, and, you know, do that, but don't feel like you're constraining yourself. Because, like, you know, my house over here, I cleared off the top of that little hill, just a little bit, not a lot, but I cleared off the top of that hill, and I ended up with a little bit of dirt, and so I kind of filled in around it a little bit until I didn't have any dirt left. And so it made me a nice level surface and everything, and it ended up looking better than just, well, he just cleared off a big, flat spot, and now there's just this big rectangle, Rebuild the hill a little bit as you go, and it will make the terrain look better, and it's more, like, I guess, pleasing to the eye. So, anyway, this is going to be our first sort of spot for our bridge. And what we're going to do, what I plan to do, is we're going to make some nice arches along the sides, and it's going to look like it's stable and big and everything, and we're going to have like support columns coming down and everything, and it's going to be great. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off here, because this is where our first part of the arch is going to be. Okay, and then from there we're going to go out, well, I'm not going to do it from this side, and I'm not going to do it with dirt, certainly, because I'm not going to rebuild the whole blasted thing after I get finished. But anyway, I'm sort of getting ahead of myself, and I'm trying to talk and count at the same time, and I'm not great at that. What I want to do is I want to leave 5 spaces between each dirt block. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5 dirt block. Okay. And that's going to put them 7 apart, okay? And that's how far apart we're going to get our arches to go. And that'll keep us from having like a bunch of them, like, I mean, I could go 3 apart, I could go, but I feel like 5 is a good number. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I do that? I did, nope, oh, one more. Okay, there we go. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. Again, talking and counting at the same time, not my strong suit. So we're going to have to, and again, measure twice to make sure that we get this correct. 5 and... Oop, I was out of blocks. Ha! Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and boom. Alright. So, and then we're going to make, like I said, we're going to make a lovely bridge here. It's going to be great, and like, again, you don't have to do what I do. You don't have to, I mean, you can absolutely skip to the end of the video and look at like what the finished product is and be like, oh, that's pretty good, but I don't really, I don't like the cut of his bridge's jib. And then you never have to build a bridge like this. You don't have to build this, particular bridge at all. You may not even have a hill next to, a temple of inevitable shame in your world, so, I mean, maybe you don't need this. Maybe you don't. But at the same time, you might. I don't know. It's your world. Do what you want. I kind of feel like Bob Ross. Yeah, again, I mentioned him, I think, in my first video, and he was, it's like, this is your world. Do what you want to do with it. Okay, and so that's actually going to make that the last block, and that'll work out because that'll enable us to put some. Again, not pre-planned at all on the spacing, but it'll enable us to do our arches and things the way that we want to. So, I got a little dizzy there for a second. Alright. Anyway, guys, so, yeah, that's, this basically, it's just bridge measurement is all it is in the world, and that's going to be, like, a big part of it. Now, the thing, too, is, I hate, like, bumping my shoulders against walls and hitting my hands against railings and things in real life, so I don't want to leave it like one column, one row. I don't want to just have like this one little path to run along. I want to have a little room. I want to have room to expand. I mean, maybe I'll have to bring like a cart across here or something at some point, or maybe 2 people might want to walk across it at the same time and they don't want to run into each other. So we are going to fatten it out to 3 across. Okay. We're going to go 3 across, and then we're going to start, building our columns and things. And I know, again, it's like, well, I mean, maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you want to have it 5. Maybe you want to have it 1. Maybe you don't want to go to all this trouble, and you're just going to go, I'm just going to build a big, stupid dirt bridge, and there's nothing you can do about it, Ice Drake. And I'll be like, you know what? That's fair. That's totally fair. So what we're going to do, though, here in our world, is we're going to build a happy little bridge with some happy little columns, and everybody else can suck it. There's something you never heard Bob Ross say. Ha! So, what I think I am going to do is, down the center of the bridge, I'm going to use these lovely blocks here. I'm going to do this, excuse me, because I want to have these green sort of jade triangles sort of delineating the path. See? I mean, that's great already. Like, you're standing here and you're like, okay, so this is the right path and this is the left path. And so then you've got like lanes. You know, people can walk in different lanes of it and what have you. So anyway, it's going to be great. It's going to be good. Okay, so we're just going to pop the first one right there. Okay, and then we're just going to go all the way across with it. But for the sides, I want to have a different type of block, because again, we're doing this, you know, 3 across. What I'm going to do is, I think, I want to have, I don't want to use these super fancy ones. I feel like I'll use them for some of the column work and things like that. But I am thinking about maybe not those. Too, I don't know, too targety, I guess. What I could do is I could use these, and if I actually put them like this, it would make like a longer... No, I don't know. See, this is the part that, like, I have to start thinking at the same time, and that's not good for anybody. Or I could keep using those and flip them to that side. No. I think what we're going to do is just use these on the sides, and then we'll put these... we'll put them like that, I think, yeah. And that'll make like a good pattern as well. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to blow your minds, because I said that this was going to be a 3-block bridge. Okay. And I was not lying about that at all. But we're going to have to build out a couple of more blocks. And I'll tell you why. Because that's the lane. See? These are the lanes. Right. Got it. Unless, I mean, I'm the only person on Earth, so I can just go straight down the middle of it, and I don't have to pick a lane. Which is something you should never do when you're driving in real life. So, don't do that. But you're also going to want to have some type of, you know, shoulder to keep you from falling off the bridge. So we have like guardrails and things in real life for that. And what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to use our blocks like that to do our guardrail. Now, I don't really know, how does the bottom of that look? Not great. Not great. So, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to flip this over like that. Okay? We're going to go like so. And then we're going to park them on top of each other like so, and that's going to be the top. I think it's just it's a nicer pattern across the top. And what I may actually do, I haven't really decided yet, is I may actually pop one out every now and then and intersperse one with one of those. I don't know. That's got like a weird design to it. You know what? No. That's not what we're gonna do. That looks terrible. That's just bad. How could you guys even let me do that? We will use... We could use these. But, again, maybe too fancy? I don't know. It is a pickle. A conundrum, if you will. We'll decide on that later. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just we're just gonna 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay. So that's still where we're going. I'm just gonna use these to mark this out, and we're gonna basically. I'm just gonna show you guys building up to the first arch. Okay. And then I'll do the rest of it off camera because, you know, I don't want to... if I do too much, you guys will probably get bored of watching me repeat the same pattern over and over and over and over again. Nobody wants that, so we're not gonna do that. But anyway, so this is gonna be from one point to the other. It's gonna be our first arch of the bridge, okay? And again, I mean, it's not it's not a must-do thing. If you don't want to do, arches for your bridge, you don't have to. If you want to do a different style, also fine. But this will actually be. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna just take these away so that I can work for a second. And I know I've said try and have a net 0 on dirt. And I will move these somewhere else. And I know I've got like 99 of them just sort of sitting in my inventory, just like a big stack. And that's because while I was strip mining, I ended up sort of digging a big staircase straight down to the corruption level, which was just a joy and a privilege to get to do. It was terrifying, but we'll get into all that. So anyway, so we want to have our arches. And what I want to do is sort of figure out, okay, so this is the center point of my arch. All right, so that's where we're gonna meet. Okay, from one pole to the other. So I'm just gonna use these to sort of guide where the outer poles are gonna be. Okay, and that will give us, again, just sort of an idea of where we're going to be working, and it will enable us to sort of get our pattern down for how we want the arch to function, okay? And this is already looking, I mean, I think it looks pretty cool already, just for a big, flat sort of surface. But, I mean, what do I know? Again, this is our happy little bridge and our happy little land, and you don't have to tell us otherwise. So, and yeah, we'll just drag that out one more to show where the shoulder will be. Okay. Did I run out? I ran out. Well, doggone it. Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll just there. Like I said, it's just a show. Anyway. So, what we want to do then is have this be the center point, and we want to have our, we're going to get some stairs going on, is what we're going to do. And those are going to come out from our poles and sort of meet in the middle. Okay? Now, it's not going to look like much at first, but I mean, how could it, right? Because we haven't done anything with it yet. We haven't made it look good. And I put that in the wrong spot, but that's okay. We're just going to pop that in there, and we'll just pop that one right out. And we'll figure out something to do right there here in just a minute. So basically, this is how you're going to build your arches. And it will be like it's gonna drag for a bit for you the first time that you build one of these. You're gonna be like, my God, this is just repeating a pattern over and over and over again. But that's part of what building is. And it's just sort of having the wherewithal to sort of stick with it. So, but we've got those going on, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in with these for now, and then we'll figure out a better pattern for them. But I just wanted to show you guys how to sort of get started putting your bridge arches together. And you'll want to do, across the top, you're going to want to do some lights and things. And we'll get into all that as well. But I'll pick a better pattern for all this, because I feel like it's just there's got to be something better that I can do. But anyway, so this is going to continue ad nauseum across this span, and we're going to build a big fancy bridge, and it's going to be a great time. So that's just to sort of get you guys started. And what I may actually do, hello, how are you? He's got to go. I need those crystals. Come here, you. Yep, we got distracted. It happens. Alright, so Arctech crystals are the bomb diggity, and I'll show you guys all about them. And we'll make some neat lights and things in a future episode. But anyway, what I think I may end up doing, actually, for the shoulders here, is just I may plunk down some stairs and just have a sort of a bit of a platform that steps up there. But the thing is, I mean, you want to be careful, because I also want to do like some designs and things, and I don't know if I want to have just that design going all the way across. But we'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm going to figure out something, and it'll be cool. but we're not going to do it right now. Plus, you want to be able to put some lights on your shoulders as you go, so this may not be a thing, but it may be a thing. I may do these that way, and then maybe I'll have these every once in a while at my columns, and we'll put lights on them. So, and that kind of works with the same sort of color scheme too. So, I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And we're gonna probably pop some of these bad boys on there as well, just to help light it up. I don't know. Maybe. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. But anyway, that's gonna be how we build our bridge, guys. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Sort of getting some of the building advice and things. Maybe you love it, maybe you won't. Who knows? But this is more what I'm going to be doing. I mean, there will still be some survival aspects and things, because I'm not going to turn off enemies or anything like that. I'm not going to set it to like creative mode and just build things without having blocks, because here's the thing. I enjoy the survival aspect, and I like, obviously I got all these hidden temple blocks basically because I threw some money at Playful, the people that make this. But for the most part, I enjoy having the struggle of actually going out and getting the blocks to build, like, my house and my storage building and everything, and having that sort of, like, I worked for this. I did, and having that sort of pride in what I build with it. So, anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the content. If you have, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.